Good evening, gamers. So it's another cast from our novice league, and I've forgotten who the players are because I've got quite a few replays coming at me at present. This is Fod, however, in the bottom right of our map, and he is the red Protoss. Up in the top left we have Sicarius, or Sicarius I'm going to go with, the blue Zerg. Whoops, don't know where I was off to there. Hello Overlord, how you doing? No, wait, you see this? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Little name tags up at the top there. We like that, don't we? We like that. And the other day, looking in the cast, I was looking for the shortcut that showed me the players' APMs, isn't it? That's where that is. What's happening here? I have a feeling one of these players is Felix, and I think the other player might be Sam, but I'm not entirely sure, and I definitely don't know which one's which. So, Fod and Sicarius. This worker is well, he's going to work, isn't he? He's going to have at this spawning pool. He's going to give it a serious tickling. Let's get the production tab up and see what's happening. So, spawning pool almost finished for the Zerg. And gas up. So, you would imagine very quickly we'll see 3 workers transferred in there to save up 100 gas for this metabolic boost upgrade. Absolutely crucial if you're going to be playing Lings. The Protoss, meanwhile, also has 1 gas up and mining, and we see that he's already mined about 50 gas. Second gas up and fully saturated, so the side core should be coming down, and by the time that finishes, this player will have enough gas for a mothership core, will have enough gas to research gateway, and will have enough gas to throw out a unit like a stalker or something like that. Or indeed to head up the tech chain to wherever they want to get to. So Zealot coming down for the Protoss, probably aware that his opponent's pool has finished, and so that Zealot, just a defensive Zealot I would imagine, to see off any harassment from a handful of Lings like these. So that's a sensible choice. I don't mind that at all. Not sure about the position at the top of the ramp. If you don't have buildings up here, then this Zealot's very lonely, and if more than 4 Lings come in and get a surround on it, that Zealot will fall. If he's back here with his back up against a building, the Lings can't get a full surround, and he will you'll get more value from that Zealot. And if he needs it, he can get some help from you can pull a handful of workers. So no warp kit upgrade coming down just yet, but I would expect to see that pretty much with any build. It's kind of a crucial upgrade, really. Now that we have 2 Zealots here, looking in an okay position to see off small numbers of Lings, and they will do. I'm surprised really that the Zerg player just took that fight. It's not a fight that you're going to win. A single Zealot will take down 4 Lings. 2 Zealots will make short work of 4 Lings. So really run past, because what you want to get done with those Lings is to see inside your opponent's base, to have a look around, and maybe harass a worker. If you are going to lose them all, have a look around and then focus on a worker. Or run them out again if you can, keep them alive. This Overlord parked here is having a little peek and will see this gateway. Does he see, I wonder, does he see the Stargate? Let's find out. He does. So Sicarius knows that there is a Stargate on the map. Up here, let's have a look at what the Zerg's doing. This hatch is up and running. This hatch is becoming a lair, like it. Metabolic boost researching. The Roach Warren is down. So once this is a lair, the Zerg player will be able to research the upgrades for roaches. The key one there is speed. Sometimes the second one allows roaches to move whilst burrowed, and if you're going to make use of that, that can be a very powerful upgrade as well. But you need to accompany it with burrow research. It is no good on its own. Burrowed roaches, of course, cannot be seen by your opponent unless they have detection, and there's all sorts of sneaky stuff you can get up to. You could burrow them and just walk into your opponent's base, unburrow them in the middle of the mineral line here. There also, the burrow move is quite useful in a straight up fight, because you can burrow some of the roaches, move it onto your opponent's army and pop it up around the back of them, so that you get a roach surround. Roaches also sort of heal themselves remarkably quickly when they are burrowed. You can watch their health bars sort of jump back up again. So the sort of attack burrow mechanic is pretty good as well. So yeah, it is a useful upgrade, but roach speed overwhelmingly tends to be the one that people go for first and foremost. Okay, that's Overlord speed being searched. These Ling Runlings, you know, you're taking... I guess these zealots are a bit bruised, but you're not really gaining anything from them if you don't run past and see what's what. You know, maybe the point of those is just to kind of keep your player at home, keep them on the defensive, and that's kind of okay. So, Bending Nest on. This upgrade from the Bending Nest increases the speed of Bendlings substantially. If you're playing against things like Zealots, that doesn't really matter. If you're playing against ranged units like this Immortal, it does matter, because it can change the amount of fire they take before they arrive at their target. Okay, oh hello, Fleet Beacon coming down for the Protoss, and typically that only means one thing, it means carriers. Now, I don't know how much experience these players have got. I don't know if these players are aware of what these buildings do. I don't think this Stargate has been particularly busy. We have one Phoenix out from it, just the one. So, yeah, maybe we won't see carriers. Maybe we won't. That is the Phoenix range upgrade coming down. An unusual thing to spend money on when you've only got the one Phoenix. Phoenix do not take long to build, and you know, I quite like Phoenix. I play with Phoenix quite a lot. Once you get up to 5 or 6 Phoenix, you can be very, very annoying with that for a Zerg player. You can dive in here, lift up the Queen, snipe a Queen very quickly, dive out again. You can kill these Overlords, meaning that forcing the Zerg player to build spores. And do remember, when you force a Zerg player to build spore crawlers, spine crawlers, as well as spending money, they are losing a worker, and it's costing them a larva, it's costing them a worker. You know, those things can add up. So if you can force a Zerg to spend their money on spores, that is money and larva that they are not spending on units. Phoenix are so very quick that even with spore crawler, 2 spore crawlers, you know, 5-6 Phoenix can dive in and can lift and kill, you know, 3-4 workers and get out again with only a few dents in the shield, and they can, you know, repeat that process in the next base over and over again. So you can be really frustrating for the Zerg player with Phoenix play. Second layer coming down, unnecessary. You only need one layer. Its purpose is to enable upgrades, so once you have one, having a second doesn't really serve any further purpose. Hydralist Dan is done for the Zerg player, but I don't see any Hydras in production. We do have tunneling claws coming down for the roaches, so that will allow them to move while burrowed, but no burrow being researched, so that isn't going to achieve anything. This lone Phoenix needs to be careful, or is going to get taken out by that Queen. Yeah, for no kills, and that's a shame. Oh my goodness, look at what's going on here. I don't think this Zerg player, the Protoss player actually knows how to use this disruptor. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to have to rewire. It is recharging. There must have been a shot fired. I want to see disruptor carnage. Sorry about this, folks. I should have been watching the minimap. You know, if I was good at watching the minimap, I'd actually be a good Protoss player, or indeed good StarCraft player. But, you know, there we go. These disruptor shots can be so brutal. A well-micro disruptor shot can just launch in round the corner, and if the Zerg isn't looking, just annihilate all of those things in a single shot. Force field, I like that. Not a bad force field rig, well, might have affected these units a little bit. The disruptor shot, not achieving greatly, can be very useful. Can be useful even if your opponent has burrows, and they burrow roaches, for example. You can detonate the disruptor ball above the burrowed roaches and damage them, even though you can't see them. But a common use for these is kind of using them to zone the opponent's army out. Immortals do not fare well against things, and this hurled Immortal is going to die, having sort of bruised this hatchery and made it bleed a little bit. Look. That was the work you did there, Immortal. Look at the blood. Yeah, looks messy, but you did not kill it. So that Immortal really not maybe getting as much value as I would have liked to have seen. Carrier is now in production. I believe it's the first carrier. I have had half an eye on the production tab. So some force fields, force fields. No, no. Oh, I like a carrier. Who doesn't like a carrier? This carrier needs to start shooting now. The way that carriers work is they launch out these little interceptors that fly around and zap stuff. The carrier is spawned with 4 interceptors and can have a maximum of 8 of them. You have to tell it to build them. Look. This player is everywhere. They're all over it. Oh, hang on. See? They're everywhere. Oh. What? Yeah, so you have to tell the carrier to build interceptors, and you can autocast that, which means that if you right click on the interceptor button, it will just automatically build them until it has the maximum number, and that would be the sort of standard MO for using carriers. So disruptors, a little bit micro intensive disruptors. I'm not against a disruptor, but yeah, I'm surprised to see them at this level. They can be a bit fiddly to use in the heat of battle, but those disruptor bolts can also really desperately change a battle. This is an unusual combo, Colossus and carriers. Both of these units are fantastically expensive. Let's have a look. So a Colossus 300, 200, a carrier even more, I think 350, 250. You know, so trying to pump those out off 2 bases, especially when you've only got 2 workers here. I think more important that you're building workers rather than carriers. And you can see up here in the top right, the Protoss is definitely short of money. Let's go and see what the Zerg is about. Hydra's out at this stage, and that is good because they shoot up, so they will be able to deal with the carriers. This is required though. That is going to increase the speed of the Hydras, but also, and equally importantly, it's going to increase the range of their attack. So a crucial upgrade for these Hydras, absolutely crucial. The key thing with those Hydras, keep them out of the Colossus way, because Hydras are a bit soft. They're much softer than roaches, but the DPS from Hydras is obscene. They have a seriously high damage output. So if you come against these carriers with the Hydras, what you need to make sure you're doing is clicking on the carriers to focus them down, because the AI will try and shoot the interceptors, not the carriers, and you might be successful, but you won't kill the carriers. And interceptors build for free. Okay. Oh no, we're not going to cost money. Never even noticed that. This carrier parked above that score is not the best place for it to be. You might want to move that. Oh no, that's ugly. Not to worry though, you have got a hatch for your trouble. And you're also going to mop up these workers, like the force field, preventing the workers from escaping, preventing any reinforcements from coming down this ramp. So I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing, Fod. This is good. These Hydras though are going to make... I don't know actually. I don't know. That force field is useful. Disrupting the Hydra line. They've got to walk around this now. They're not firing. So they're going to fall, I think. Oh, it's... No, they're not. Are they? These mutants just coming to the rescue at the end. Yeah. So without any upgrades, I actually thought that Colossus would have minced the Hydras, but no, Hydras were successful in the end. So what is happening? In the production tab, another carrier coming down, more disruptors coming down. The Zerg is just, I don't know, going sort of upgrade crazy, let's upgrade everything. This is a very unusual game. Both players have really sort of strange tech paths that they're choosing. They're just, you know, any and all tech. This, look, it's painful. This is, you know, and I know it's kind of a finer point, but it's a little thing that can gain you a lot. Let me just wind this back to here. And let's just look at that. Let's just look at this engagement. So here we have some mutas and the 2 void rays. Notice that the 2 void rays are both shooting different mutas. If I play this, I'm just going to slow it down. So look, this unit is almost dead, but the Void Ray is shooting this one. So that little bit of micro, just right click on that and that will pop instantly. Then you can focus on the next one, then the next one. Just telling the units what to shoot, even in that minor way, is an important sort of aspect of micro that can really make the difference in a battle that's very close like that. For units against 2 Void Rays is actually that can swing either way if the units are microed. But as it stands, it is looking suspiciously like Reserve is going to be successful here with this very, very small force. But there are units building. This disruptor could change everything. The carrier that is going to come out. Oh, but don't. Ooh, you might want to keep it up home. Oh, that's unfortunate. That disruptor shot really could have changed this a great deal. Had it detonated on time, it could have just annihilated these Hydras. So you need the carrier. You need it to be building interceptors. Don't send it out there. Don't keep it up on the high ground. No, Protoss player. No, Fod. No. No, wait for it to build its interceptors. Has Fod got any money? No. And this Nexus still sort of shy of workers. So really needs, really needs a bit of a miracle at this point. These cannons finishing up are going to help a great deal, but the damage up behind us will snap off so very, very quickly. And I think we have got the GG, haven't we? It is over. Ooh, no GG. Salty. Okay. Well, that was an interesting game, and you know, I was quite pleased by what I saw there. There was progression up the tech tree from both players. Neither appeared to have a clear focus on what they wanted to build, and I don't really mind that. You know, this is a novice league after all. I don't expect people to know builds. I don't expect them to know the synergies of what units work well together and what don't. So why not try out a few different units? It was an interesting game. There was a bit of back and forth. Both players crossed the map and had a decent battle. And in the end, we had a win for Sicarius. Sicarius, I salute you.